Good morning, campers. We're gonna do another reading. What's coming for this collective for the eclipse season? Because we're gonna be going through a very intense eclipse season. If you want to know more about this, I posted a video on my YouTube and on my Instagram. You can check that out. And as always, we're going to start from how are you feeling right now? Where's your emotion? So you know this is your collective, because you know what I always say, we're not making things fit here. We're training discernment. My collectives, I do have little bits and pieces, little small details that come to mind that can resonate with you, but the overall energy, it needs to fit the whole thing, okay? So let's see if this is your reading. How is this collective feeling? This eclipse is going to pull out some shadows, movement. I was hearing for this collective that it may be quite intense for you. Certain things may come through, maybe even love related, but let's see. Let's see where it goes. All right, what do we have? We have movement. We have space. We have flow. And we have strength. I feel like the energies right now around you are a bit intense. You would feel that like there's a lot of going on. A lot to the point that maybe you yourself even need a little bit of space to think. With that movement, I am hearing love for this, but we will clarify, right? But I am hearing that certain things are, maybe it's not just love I'm hearing. Maybe it's variety of things, different things that are really like gaining momentum in your life. I'm not necessarily hearing, they're showing me a tower moment, so it wouldn't necessarily be a momentum as you want it, right? So things progressing in a way that you want them to. I feel like it's more, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on that you need to deal with. And you know what those tower moments ultimately teach us? Flow and strength. When things are out of hand, when things are happening that we don't know how to react, we don't know how to control these things, it's a little bit too much. Those moments happen to really help us to dissolve the ego, to really reach for that strength of the soul, to really allow things to be, to develop, to go with the flow. The creator knows better. The most high knows better what's going to happen. So I feel like right now, this collective, you would be finding yourself in a moment when there's so much going on that you need just space for yourself, you need space to think, you don't know how to react, but somewhere subconsciously you would be feeling that it's building your strength. You would be feeling that it's teaching you just to surrender. Let's clarify. Movement. Passion. I was seeing love, but there's a reason we have passion. There's a reason we have passion. Hold on, let me pull your second row. Anger. We have anger. I'm hearing expectations. We have reflection. I feel like and things I'm hearing is like we're going more towards love reading, less, and we have the ghost. All right. With that movement, remember I said I was, it is a love department. I was seeing love. We have passion specifically. So, and I was hearing also expectations and entitlement. I feel like you are a little bit frustrated, a little bit angry right now because things are happening. Things are, I don't even want to say gaining momentum. I don't feel like gaining momentum. It's just like things are happening. So maybe you're meeting your person. Maybe there's someone you're connected to. You're having some movement. It's like you're seeing each other, but things are not going the way you want them to go. It's like they're very driven by passion. They're very driven by impulse. They're very much driven by... Let's see where this is going. I'm hearing as well. You know what I always say about relationships? Let's see where this is going. They're only allowed if at least one person is wounded. Two, divine, healthy, centered, respectful individuals would never allow themselves for that kind of relationship, but we'll get to that. So I feel like you have moments of just like anger. It's like you want this movement, but you don't necessarily want things to go the way they're going, but because of this passion, it's like you're surrendering yourself to wherever it goes. It's like you cannot, I'm hearing, it's like you cannot say no, it's like you cannot refuse, but it's making you feel angry. You would be in a reflective relationship. You would be in a soul connection with someone that is really reflecting onto you things that need to be amended. And when it comes to those relationships, you know what I always say to you guys, right? Some of them are beautiful destined soul ties. Some of them are karmic relationships. We'll tap into that in a moment. But whenever we are faced with someone who is so deeply reflecting us, it usually happens for two reasons. Reason number one is because we are still not healed enough to see ourselves. We don't yet have that consciousness. It's at the bottom of the deck. We are not yet able to see why relationships exist, right? And people oftentimes say that, oh, we heal through relationships. Yes, if we're not aware enough to heal on our own. We may as well heal on our own. It's a beautiful healing of a higher level in my universal truth, that people who are ready to truly heal, we're ready to do this in solitude, in separation, in being single. But people who are in denial or in the beginning of this journey, you're getting these reflective relationships because you yourself are not seeing certain things, right? You're not seeing certain patterns. You're not seeing a certain repetitive cycle. So we're being put in those intense reflective relationships if we yet don't see certain things within ourselves on our own. And second reason that I always believe it's the reason, if we're really meant to heal, if we're really meant to overcome something. So the universe is like, okay, you're not understanding the signs. Okay, you don't have that self-awareness, that consciousness to really realize certain things, certain patterns. Well, what can I do? I can just send you people that will reflect that back to you. Because it's that timeline. It's that lifetime that you're supposed to heal, right? And we have that ghost. I feel like this with the strength, it's like you're pulling on to the strength. You would be right now in a turmoil of that person that you're connected to. So maybe they're coming in, they moving out, they come in with passion. There's, you think that there's going to be movement. You make assumptions, then you need time to think. You get angry because they're ghosts. You're not fully understanding that they're reflecting things to you. It's all happening on a subconscious level. Just like they reflect things to you, you reflect things to them. It's always mutual in those connections. So it's like you get a little frustrated, you get a little angry. All right, that's how you would be feeling right now. I want to also do, you know what, before we start, I want to do, I'm thinking, do I want to do your energy? Let's do quickly your energy. Let's do your energy, and then we're going to do what's coming. What's coming in that eclipse season in the next few weeks, what shadows are going to be illuminated, what you need to work on. But let's see your energy. What's the energy of this collective right now? Ooh, Three of Swords. The Devil. Intense. Okay, we're going very intense. All right, we have Three of Swords, which is the energy of heartbreak, right? Broken heart. We have the Devil, shadows. We have Justice, karma. And we have Six of Swords. We have Six of Swords. It's coming to my mind, Hermit at the bottom of the deck. It's coming to my mind, we have Libra, Capricorn, air signs coming through strongly as well. So Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, and we have Capricorn. What was coming to my mind with this Justice is that sometimes when we are faced with a lifetime, when we're truly meant to heal, right? So we come across those destined connections, reflective connections, certain things happen in our life, we go through certain pain and turmoil, it is with an objective to really heal, to do deep healing, to have the opportunity to release karma. And what we often fail to understand, and I find this with people especially who follow this surface level spirituality, right? No one who points fingers towards others is spiritual. I don't care what anyone says. For as long as you're blaming life, your exes, your parents, your ex-wife, husband, boyfriend, you're not spiritual. Spirituality is about diving into the existence of your spirit, the experience of life. So there's many people who say that they believe in karma, they believe in past lives, they burn sage, you know how I always say the sprinkle, but they fail to understand that really everything happens for a reason. There is justice in this world. There is justice in this world. It's just like sometimes we forget to see it because we forget that this life is not the only life. So we enter this mindset of, I haven't done anything to this person. Why is this happening to? Well, maybe you've done something to this person in previous life. Maybe you've done something to other people and this person volunteered to be the deliverer of your karma in this life. And remember, it's very important also to remember with destined connections like soulmates and twin souls, we also may have karma to even out because your soul knows that there are still certain shadows, certain things that maybe you haven't removed from your energy that you really have to remove it so that soul connection of yours, you agree between each other, I will push you to that limit. I will push you to that rock bottom so you can learn humility, so you can really release, so you can really find the light of your soul. How we find it through pain. There is no other way. So I feel like what you're forgetting, maybe, you know, it happens to many of my feminines that to an outside observer, it seems like the masculine is acting worse in that situation. Like it's like we're not doing anything wrong, we only want to love them, we only confirmation want to be with them, why they're acting like this. But we're forgetting that we have a soul contract to teach each other how to grow. That's what always happens. Where's my card? in these reflective relationships, whatever type of soul type they are, I will teach you something. If they're true soul connections, it's mutual and it comes with love. In karmic relationships, it's quite harsh, and it's not meant to last. But I feel like you have to remember that there is justice in this world. Every experience teaches you something. Every experience. Most people fail to see those lessons. But going back to your energy, right? So you would be heartbroken right now. I feel like a lot of shadows are coming out of you. Because I deviated, there's always a reason I deviate towards these things. So I feel like you would be thinking about this. You would be thinking and contemplating, why is this happening that way? What did I do to deserve this? I'm hearing. And you are in a lot of, remember we mentioned you're in a lot of turmoil, a lot of sort of a passion right now. So I feel like you would be in this mindset, I don't want it. I don't want it. It's too painful. But it's like you're not seeing the lesson. What else is in your energy? I'm having a lot of tough love kind of readings, but it's the eclipse season. I'm the deliverer of the message from your guides, from the universe. I'm a channel. It's not me being, the wisest telling you how to live your life. It's the messages that I'm hearing. And I've said this to you guys on my stories, I believe, like yesterday or the other day, that I am sensing the energy of the guides of my collectives. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. You have to see certain things. You have to change certain things. Finger towards yourself. Free of Cups. The Lovers. That's on top of that Devil. I'm hearing Knight of Swords. I'm hearing love is not supposed to hurt, but it's true. Love doesn't hurt. Again, I say this to you guys all the time. It's the shadows that hurt. Love doesn't hurt. True, pure, unconditional love, whether you are or you aren't with a person that you love, when you're healed, when you release the ego, when you stand in a place of your soul, love doesn't hurt. And then a lot of people say, but I love this person and they do this and that to me. But if you love them, you give them freedom to do whatever they want to do. If they disrespect you, you put in a boundary and you push them away. But you still love them. If they do things that hurt you because they are with other people, we've talked about this in my recent channeled message, because they seeing other people and what entitlement towards them do you have? Love is not entitlement. Love doesn't mean that you own someone. If they choose someone else, it's their choice. Love is freedom. 8 of Swords. I'm seeing number 8. Maybe that's infinity symbol. Maybe it means something to you, but also maybe in the month of August was quite challenging for you as well. It's like a bit of a mental prison. I'm hearing. We have 2 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I feel like you would be a little bit confused. You're not understanding why certain things are happening, right? So you're thinking to yourself, this person comes back. Why they always come back to break my heart? That's what I'm hearing. It seems like it's going to be, I get so excited. We have an amazing time, beautiful reunions every time we're together, and then they end up breaking my heart. Again, no one has the power to break your heart, truly. And it's in these kind of connections, when women say these things, again, sometimes you are met with a destined soul connection. Sometimes it's a karmic. But the initial question is, why are you allowing a stranger, truly, in the physical world, a stranger man that you haven't had the time to get to know what kind of person they are? Why are you allowing them in your life, in your bedroom, in your energy field? And then you blame them on the journey, on this journey. One of the first lessons, strong lessons that the divine feminine has to learn, and that's the lesson that starts through separation. It's self-love, it's understanding, it's me. It was me. I am picking up that phone. I am responding to that message. I am taking that cab and going to his house. It's me. It's me. It's me allowing someone to disrespect me, knowing that they will disappear, knowing that they will go, because we already know this. You can feel it. And then you blame love, but it's your shadows. I love this card. Side note, sorry. It's my favorite card of all the tarot decks, and I have a lot. It's so beautiful. It really shows the truth. We are the puppets in the hands of a puppet master who is our shadows, without even knowing this. Love doesn't hurt, again. I'm hearing you are going through some realizations, which is a good thing. So again, remember what we always say, tarot readers, yes, we do tap into your most proximate timeline when it comes to futures. We can see certain milestone from your highest, most aligned timeline as we read your energy, right? So we know that if you were to walk this path and reach your highest timeline, we have visions how that timeline is going to look like, right? A good tarot reader, a good medium, an energy reader is not going to reveal what is not meant to be revealed for you. It's like we feel what you're ready to accept, right? But for most part, we are that mirror to you. We say things that you already somehow in your heart but you're just refusing to accept. So I feel like this whole situation, everything that I said, it sounded a little harsh, right? That it's you, that love doesn't hurt, that you're allowing this. You would know this. You would know this. But right now, your shadows are too strong. And It's absolutely okay. In these kind of connections in the beginning, this is how they actually teach us to be divine, our counterparts. By doing all these things that will push us to a place of really seeing it's me. I'm allowing this. And I'm hearing two things with this. So you would be having some reflective thoughts. Maybe even remember how I mentioned that, maybe I deserve this, right? Maybe I've done something, and it's so you would be aware at this point, past lifetimes karma. So maybe you're starting having thoughts, but I'm also hearing that it may have been that this person said something to you that you didn't liked, something harsh, right? Something, and it's also a moment of realization, because yes, they come back to us, right? Yes, they say things that their actions don't match their words. Yes, they make promises that they don't follow through with, right? But sometimes there are moments that our masculines actually say to us, I don't want commitment, I don't want a relationship. But we don't listen because we feel this from the very beginning. That love that you have for each other in the blueprint of your soul, you feel that, but it clouds your judgment. Why? Because it's covered with your shadows. Does it make sense? I feel like you may be a little bit in this moment, and I talk about this a lot. It's such a painful moment for the feminines, and a dangerous moment as well, where you would say, yeah, I don't want it because it hurts too much. But it's not what you have to understand. This is why you're a little bit blinded. It's like you're in the prison of your mind, because what is causing pain in this situation, it's not this person. Removing this person will not help you. Even if the divine would take them and move them to the other side of the world, erase all their social media and all the ways that you can communicate, believe me, it's not going to help. Once you're activated to this journey, they're in your energy forever, 24/7. They can be on Mars. It doesn't matter. Why? Because you're meant to heal in this lifetime. That's why it doesn't go away. That's why you agreed to a connection so powerful before your freaking first incarnation, to really reach that lifetime when you're gonna walk towards Christ consciousness. And sometimes it gets too intense, and the feminists go like, I don't want it, I pray for it to go away. Don't. If it's truly that, I always say this, first make sure you're truly on the journey, right? And I've explained this to you guys so many times, and I have a series how to do that on your own. But you just need to come to one session to a true divine feminine who reads divine love to be able to tell you, are you or aren't you on that connection? And once you know, do not wish it to go away. It's an incredible gift. It's a gift of that mirror. So you just need to stop running away, because you're truly running away. You're one. I always say this. So the moment until you want to run away, it's because you're running away from yourself, from your shadows, from that reflection. No one has the power to make you feel a certain way. It's you. It's always you. All right. Let's see what's coming in the month of September. Let's see what's coming. And then we're going to do some shadows that will come through as well, so you're more mindful. What's coming? Not in the month of September, sorry. I want to do up to the eclipse, so the next 2 weeks. What's coming? Seduction. It's like, I don't want to be, right? It's like, you say you don't want it, and then you go and run to it. I want to run to you. Too many. What is this? Come on. What if I come to you? Tell me. One more. We have Forcer at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Okay, I feel like it's gonna be a difficult eclipse. We do have that seduction, and that was what first came through. Remember, so I feel like there will be still seduction. If even if your person right now you're not speaking, they may be ghosted. I feel they're not yet away from your energy, so they might be coming in and out. We have talking shit. Okay. We have blowing kiss. We have old school conditioning, outdated thinking, replaying events. There's something in your mindset that has to shift, and all these lessons will lead towards that. And we have cloud hungry. Says anything, does anything, makes shit up, dramatic. I'm looking at this dramatic. And we have forcer. I feel like you're still wanting to force things. You're still wanting to force things, and it's coming to my mind, so maybe there's a reason. Maybe some of you watching, you feel like this reading resonates, but you actually are in a karmic connection. But if you really think about this, right, in the beginning of whether you are on a twin journey or you're in a karmic connection, in the beginning you just have to focus on loving yourself, putting in boundaries, healing, focusing on your shadows, and it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. People say this BS nonsense on online that twin flame is nonsense and it's not existence and it's just crazy tarot lady telling people to accept disrespectful behavior. When have ever a true divine feminine who is meant to work with twins, right? Someone who's been on a journey and their mission, I always say to you guys, their mission links to working divines. When has ever a medium, shaman, tarot lady who actually is meant to work with divines because she's been on a journey and it's part of her mission, has said to anyone, go back and allow this behavior? All we ever say is boundary, self-love. No, we're not saying hate that man because he's you. We're not saying block and delete because what point does it make? But we're saying as long as he doesn't treat you how you deserve, it's a no. So when do we ever say to anyone, it's nonsense of people. You're hearing what you're wanting to hear. So in the beginning of this journey, in the first years, when you're still in distress, when you're still bathing in your shadows, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. What kind of reflective relationship is this? Is this a twin? Is this a karmic? Because bottom line, your lesson is going to be love yourself. And in a process, as you heal, as you love yourself, as you overcome your shadows, integrate and heal parts of your psyche, you're going to split into two, depending what relationship is that. In the process of healing, if you truly do that deep healing, if it's a karmic, you will let them go. Because once we learn our lesson, it's automatically closed. It doesn't linger, right? And if it's a twin, you will know because love will prevail. Love will stay. No one sane and a good psychic, good healer is ever saying to no one to continue in that relationship, to wait. If you come to me on session, you would know this. I would tell you, don't go where he is. Don't text him. Don't follow him on social media. You do you. Allow this love to activate you, whether that's a karmic catalyst or that's your true twin. If it's your true twin, love will prevail. Years will pass. And all you will have to him will be love. No resentment, no anger, because it's all shadows. Sorry. Spirit gets upset in the eclipse season. I feel like there's gonna be some seduction. I feel like there's gonna be some in and out in upcoming weeks. So there may be moments when you're gonna be like, oh my God, maybe this is gonna work. I love him so much. I want to be with him. But then, you know, he's gonna do what he always does, because they're teaching us how to respect ourselves unknowingly. So you're maybe gonna start talking not in the nicest way about him. You know what I always say to you, if it's truly that connection, what you think of that other person is what you really think of yourself subconsciously. But there is something that needs to change in your energy.